I participated in an event that's put on by, it's called Face of America is the organization. And it's a 110-mile bicycle ride from Arlington, Virginia to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So for me, it was a really kind of profound weekend, and actually had emotions I was not expecting going into it. So 175 wounded warriors. We had 600 bicycle riders in all. And the able-bodied bicycle riders were there to help out the wounded warriors, because there are a lot of hills between Arlington, Virginia and Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And so as you can see from the picture, there are these little push sticks that are behind all the vehicles. And my very first experience along the way, I was seeing one bicycle rider. It was a lady who for some reason didn't have a push rod. Her cycle was very low profile. And she was bicycle riding up this very aggressive hill with her hands. And it was clear that she was not going to make it. I mean, she was not going to make it up this hill. There was another wounded warrior in a lower profile cycle with a push rod on his cycle, though, and he was right next to her. He saw that she wasn't going to make it. So he grabbed her front wheel with his right hand and started to climb this hill, cycling with one hand, carrying two people with one hand. I couldn't believe it, because he knew he wasn't going to make it up the hill. He knew it. But he grabbed her because he was not going to let her not make it. I saw the push rod, and I immediately jumped on it and started to push the best I could. But it became quickly apparent that I wasn't going to make it. I was not enough help to get up this hill. It was a pretty big hill. And just when I thought, this is it, it's over, and our wheels are like 8 inches apart from each other, right? So as you can kind of imagine. And I'm like, okay, I cannot actually turn my crank one more time. And then I feel this push in the middle of my back. I still don't even know who it was. Someone just shoved me in the middle of my back. It was another bicycle rider, able-bodied bicycle rider, who just piled in and started to push us. And then, like another 15 seconds later, I felt another jolt. Like someone else was pushing the guy who was pushing me, that was pushing the rod, that was hanging onto the wheel of this person who couldn't make it up the hill. And I got to tell you, it was an incredible moment. I guess maybe for the first time began a little bit to understand when folks talk about no person left behind, what that really means, and how instinctive that is, and how automatic it is. Chandra is actually pulling me up this particular hill, at least emotionally, she pulled me up the hill. It was a funny thing, because when I went into the ride going Saturday morning, we started off at 6:30 a.m. And I was wearing my Capital One jersey, and I thought, I'm a part of the Capital One team here. And then Chandra, who said, I can't let the SAG truck get me. The SAG truck is support and gear, so it's the truck that frankly just picks up riders either as their machines are not able anymore, or whether they're physically not able anymore to get up hills, and they pick them up and they drive them the rest of the way. She says, no SAG for me today. SAG truck's not going to get me today. SAG truck's not going to get to me. So when I on Sunday first linked on with Chandra, I said, no SAG trucks for us today. I'm committing myself to you for the rest of the ride. It was about 43 miles, I think, that we finished together, last 43 miles. And then I thought I was on Team Chandra. I thought that's the team that I'm on. And then at the end, when you go into Gettysburg, and we actually went through the battlegrounds of Gettysburg, if you haven't been, oh my God, I've never actually been through these portions. It was just amazing. 600 bicycle riders together going through Gettysburg. I realized that I was on a completely different team. I realized that I wasn't on Team Capital One. I wasn't on the able-bodied team. I wasn't on Chandra's team. This was just one massive team. And I don't know why it took me 2 days to figure that out. I'm a little bit slow about these things. But I realized I was a part of a collective team, and there was no one on that road who was going to let anyone else on that road fail. There just wasn't. And so the reflection for me for the first season was that we all started out, in fact yesterday we started out with a roll call by individual sprint teams, and we kind of identify, we've got cute t-shirts, and by the way, thanks for the Sprite t-shirt. But we are not individual teams in this room. So I think we became that in Release 1. We've got a lot of new team members, and we'll have more new team members along the way, but we're just piling in. And if anyone can't make it up the hill, don't feel too proud to ask for help. And if you see it, we all just are going to help instinctively. But I think in the first season we became that sort of team.